listening to New Soundwave with your hosts, John DeLuna, Brian Kilby, XV, Lady Rick, Dweebum, with Rob Springer.
Hey everybody, it's your old friend John DeLuna. This is New Soundwave number 53. And I'm finally coming to you on video because, you know, Macintosh decided to catch up to 2008-ish, I think. 2. Nice. And rolled out beta Skype.
Yeah.
For Mac. So sweet.
Yeah,
hey,
awesome.
To start off the show, I'm going to tease again. We're literally in the middle of our contest to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of New Soundwave in all its glorious forms. We are giving away a brand new copy of Super Street Fighter 4 for the 360. And so all you got to do for a chance to win is whenever we tweet that New Soundwave goes up, retweet that tweet. So that's all you got to do. And every time you do that for each of the 3 shows, last week, this week, and the next week, you get a chance to win. So you get up to 3 times, you know, the odds, I guess. 3 times the chances to win a brand new copy of Super Street Fighter 4 for 360. It is awesome. We'll draw the winner, of course, after next show. Probably the show after that, which I think is around, I think that's the week of Thanksgiving. Isn't that right, Brian? Are we doing a show? Are we doing shows that week?
Sure.
Yeah, why not? Screw the family.
Yeah. I mean, as long as it's not on Thursday, which, you know, that's my Tombstone time. Every year on Thanksgiving, I watch Tombstone with my friends and family. My real family.
I thought you meant have a Tombstone pizza, like instead of turkey.
That'd be awesome.
I should start doing that.
Sit there with like some booze and a Tombstone pizza.
They used to make a turkey Tombstone pizza.
That sounds amazing.
That sounds crazy. Was it? Did they reference Thanksgiving at all with that, or was it just?
Okay.
I don't recall. I just remember it existing.
Tombstone, because lonely gets better.
Yeah.
Man, awesome. The Lonely Man. Thanks.
At least it's not that Jones soda.
Oh
came out
God,
a
that's
couple years ago.
disgusting.
It was like turkey flavored.
They do that every
soda.
year. They do that every year.
Yeah,
you
it's
have
like
a drink. I paid for this.
So you have to finish. So anyway, that's the contest, and we'll remind you at the end of this show. This week, New Soundwave's pretty awesome. We've got news on Gran Turismo 6. That's right, 6. Capcom counting on big things from Marvel vs. Capcom 3 because they have no other choice. Nintendo filing for an interesting trademark that may be, I don't know, 5 years old, 5 years too old. And then Black Friday. We're going to talk about Black Friday. There's an interesting bit of news, and then we're also going to, you know, go in depth a little bit with Black Friday. So, without further ado, real quickly, this is from News of the Weird. A Spanish neighborhood is going to name a street Super Mario. Why? I don't know. Just, you know, because it's to get us to talk about it, to get this podcast.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Absolutely. So the neighborhood association president says that real life plumbers live there, so it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly
Works
viable.
out.
That's right. That it really, they have to name it Super Mario because of that.
Plumbers live here, and so do dudes named Mario.
Absolutely.
Right, because Mario and Luigi, all they did was do plumbing.
All they did. Speaking of, on Netflix, I've been watching that old Lou Albano Super Mario.
Oh yeah, I had that on my queue.
Awesome.
Yeah, streaming is awesome.
Awesome. That show is like totally underrated. There's like so many. I'm not gonna say it's like high level humor because it's not, but there was more adult level humor in there than I realized.
What about, is Club Mario? Is Club Mario on there, or is it just the Super Mario Brothers Super?
I haven't looked. I'm trying to go sequentially. I'm trying to go somewhat, you know, in order. So I'm like almost done with season 1 of it. Anyway, good show, good stuff. And Lou Albano, R.I.P. man. Who was Luigi? Was Luigi like a famous actor, or like just some guy?
Some dude.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, when you get done hitting that, killing like cows for a living, you mind filming this? Yeah, man.
Captain Lou.
Take that leather mask off and put this hat on. Okay. What's my name? Luigi. Cool. Hey Mario. Hey Luigi. All right.
So anyway, like I said, Gran Turismo 6. Yeah, don't worry about 5 not being out yet. It seems like Gran Turismo 6 is in development already.
For what system, I wonder?
Let's see. I don't know if I have that. I think they may just
PS2.
say,
They're
we're
thinking
working.
ahead.
PS3, right? I mean, or PS19 by the time.
Yeah,
PS2 could be like, hey
well,
guys,
I mean, the thing is like the 360 or the Microsoft executives said like the next generation's years away, but Sony is such like a hardware company and so itching to like put out stuff. I wonder like how far away they are.
Yeah. They're like, Move was good, but PS5 is better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forget about 4. We're gonna skip
Yeah.
4. 4 will be the beta.
Because 4
okay,
in
so
Japanese is like death.
Yeah. And you know what? 5 will retake the crown. To be fair, if you look back at like the history of gaming since I don't know, I guess say the early 80s, so more or less modern gaming. Like history like shows like there's no guarantee of success based on like the previous generation. Because I mean like the players like move around pretty substantially for the most part in each generation. So who
I mean,
knows?
the Xbox original Xbox didn't do that great, and PlayStation 2 dominated everybody.
Original Xbox did okay.
But it didn't do. I mean, it's not doing as great as it is
It did
now.
better than say what the GameCube, didn't it?
no.
Yeah.
GameCube definitely came in third.
Oh,
Yeah,
Poor
but I mean, what I'm saying is like PS2 dominated by far.
Oh
Nobody could
God,
touch
yeah.
it.
There's not. It's the biggest game console
yeah.
ever.
And even with the next generation, PS2 still dominated for like 2 years by far.
Yeah.
And now 360's out. They're out in front more or less now. The Nintendo Wii is somewhere in the middle there. PS3 is slowly catching up but eventually the Wii is gonna plateau, which it pretty much already has.
Yeah, it really has.
Move into
Which is interesting. I think everybody thought like the Wii was gonna have to plateau. I think when everybody like saw the Wii come out, everybody thought, this thing's gonna be, good for families and like a certain number of people, and it's gonna plateau. But it was so successful, everybody forgot about that, and I guess assumed like it was gonna be gangbusters for the entire generation.
Yeah.
But guess what? It
Well,
plateaued.
Yeah.
Well, nothing can, because at the end of the day, people are like, I've already got one.
I mean, compare how many Wii's have sold to the PS2. There's plenty of room for growth.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I think everyone who was potentially at all interested in that system, I mean, unless Nintendo, can point out, hey, you don't have to wave the wand at the screen. There are games that you can play without doing that.
Well, they put one out to Blu-ray player or
Oh, they're never
something
going to.
high
They're
def,
never going to do that.
or
Well,
like
plus
a
the thing
slim.
is, if you take away waving the wand at it, it's less years Nintendo still. I mean, it's not next generation hardware, strictly speaking.
It's 2 GameCubes put together.
The Wii, it's like, let's put it out in different colors. As much as I love my Wii, it's like, here's an idea. Put out the Wii Slim.
The Wii Slim, that'd be pretty much impossible.
Yeah, the Wii is about as slim as it gets.
Yeah, the Wii's tiny.
Well, if
It's
you-
like
no,
the size of a book.
Yeah.
No, you make the Wii Slim by taking the disc drive out of it, and just
Right.
online
Go, that
content
sucker.
only.
Yeah, the Wii Go. Go Wii.
Yeah.
Right. The Wii Go.
Exactly.
Nice.
Where you go, we go.
That'd be awesome. That'd be
The
awesome.
Mojo Wii Go?
Okay. So, so we've solved Nintendo's problems.
Yeah.
Clearly. Now, Capcom, on the other hand, I don't know. So as we talked about last week, I believe, one of their big creatives took off. Inafune, who is the creator of Mega Man and some other things, hit the road, Jack. He left. And so Capcom was kind of left high and dry. And certainly their fans freaked out about this. And in response, Capcom is basically crossing both every finger and every digit it's got, and counting on Marvel vs. Capcom 3 to sell 2 million units. And in the spring of 2011, they're hoping to accelerate research and development on just about everything. They expect the Japanese release of Monster Hunter Freedom 3 on the PSP to sell 3.6 million units, which I don't know. I know the PSP is popular in Japan. I don't know if it's that popular.
Is it?
in Japan.
Seriously?
I mean, it's good. I mean, Sony overall is fairly popular. I'm not going to say dominant probably in Japan, but I mean, it's a healthy It's a healthy fan base for them, and the PSP I know is a fairly healthy fan base. Has a healthy Japanese fan base.
Hey, Monster
So-
Hunter on PSP in Japan, I mean, that's its own system practically.
Yeah, I mean that's probably fair.
yeah.
It's like Pokemon.
That's like
and-
Pokemon for DS, yeah.
Yeah. It's their Pokemon, but still, I mean, their response to Inafune leaving is just like hoping and praying that everything they've got in the pipeline is going to be gangbusters. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see what Marvel vs. Capcom 3 does actually, because Super Street Fighter 4 has kind of set up a semi-revival, I would say, of fighting games as far as like pop culture goes, and just the very, very average fan goes. And then you couple that with Mortal Kombat coming out roughly, around the same time, first half of next year. We'll see. The one thing Marvel vs. Capcom 3 has that nobody else has is Marvel, that property. And so you can throw a bunch of commercials on TV with Iron Man, and that's going to move a ton of units probably by itself.
What happened to the deal they had with EA? Is EA no longer publishing their games?
I don't know. That's a good question. I certainly haven't heard EA's name in a while. It may be one of those things where it just kind of quietly the contract expired, or
Had to be.
Their agreement was pretty limited, and they just didn't renew it.
I mean, it seemed like a surprise to me that they re-released Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on the Xbox 360. I mean, that just came out of the blue. Like, well,
Yeah.
that's a fluke, I thought. Then, lo and behold, Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
You mean on the arcade, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, downloadable. I don't know. I mean, I know Marvel vs. Capcom 2 still has a pretty good cult following. Heck, they still play it competitively in
Yes.
tournaments. So,
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that may be one thing. I mean, they may have like said, you know what? People still really like this game, and like casual people watch it like online streaming and crap. So you may as well like throw it up for $10 or $15, whatever it was, and see what happens. So that might be the story behind that. Speaking of old properties making a comeback, Nintendo hopes to make a comeback with Donkey Kong Country, and to coincide with the new Donkey Kong Country, they are trying to trademark the phrase, "It's on like Donkey Kong."
I hope
Gentlemen,
this happens.
gentlemen.
This
Yeah, I
has
know
to
you
happen.
do, buddy. But you could go to Cafe Press and make your own, like for, I guess, before the lawyers find out. I guess you
Welcome
could
to
order.
15 years ago. So welcome to 15 years ago, Nintendo. Thank you
I know.
very
No.
much.
I know.
Yeah.
Imagine, remember Nintendo's great ads in the 90s where it had like Butthole Surfers music and like people, "Rah, loud," and they'd running around and apparently.
No,
Now
I
just
really
imagine-
don't.
Now just imagine like commercial. It's like, it's oh yeah, it's on like Donkey Kong. You're like, I just saw that on TV, guys. I really, wow, it's internet meme. Life is wow, awesome. I mean, I just want to see Cranky Kong say it. And then
Let's see
after he
here.
hits
I know
Donkey
the
Kong, man, it's
rhinoceros
all like
what's his
Donkey
face,
Kong.
is making a comeback. Yeah. I don't know. With Donkey Kong Country, I guess it's just like further confirmation that we're just going to do like the early '90s all over again, basically in video games right now. It's like a total nostalgia play. It's kind of like Transformers when you think
Works
about
out.
it. Yeah, it works out. Speaking of Nintendo, we're going to tweet a pretty interesting comparison video of GoldenEye, the old game versus the new game.
Ooh.
So check that out on the Twitter feed. And while you're at it, when we post the new show, retweet it and do yourself a favor. You'll make yourself eligible to win Super Street Fighter 4 for the 360. I also will tweet, because this is fairly a visual thing. There is somebody did 200 video game characters in the form of Mega Man sprites.
Awesome.
Wow.
So yeah, we'll tweet that. We bring that kind of stuff to you. Hey, is anybody here into Black Ops and that series of gaming?
I just got it last night.
Nice.
Played it
Was
for
it
like 3
release day? When was it? This week? Was
Yeah.
it release week? Yeah.
Yeah.
nice,
Amazon has
nice,
this
nice.
awesome release date policy.
Uh-huh.
You pay 99 cents, and no matter what, as long as you order it before midnight on Tuesday, you get it on Tuesday
Wow.
Sweet.
for 99
Sweet.
cents. It's amazing.
Nice. Do they do that for every game, or just like the big titles?
I don't know, but when they had it available for Halo, Reach, and Black Ops. I think they do have it for most games.
Interesting.
It may depend. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it probably depends, and I'm sure like somewhere along the line they have like deals with the publishers, you know, to kind of subsidize it or get some kind of kickback. Anyway.
Yeah, because there's no way.
Yeah. We bring this up just because we may tweet this too, but I don't want to blow up the Twitter. But if you watch TV, if you watch TV, chances are you've seen this too. For Black Ops, they hired a bunch of like random stars like Kobe Bryant and Jimmy Kimmel to star in their commercial. Which
this was so awesome.
That was a fun commercial.
It was fun commercial. Basically, they're just running around war-torn cityscapes, shooting at each other, and it's just a bunch of like random celebrities. Pretty awesome. We live in a pretty great age for video game commercials, I think.
Oops, sorry.
we kind of got into I would say like a creative lull when the first Gears of War commercial came out, because then everybody just copied that for a while. Everybody just picked like some awesome like vintage song or like classic rock song or something and just played that to sometimes not actual game footage, basically.
Oh, hi, Fable 3.
Juxtaposition. Yeah, basically.
Or how about what was that? Tom Clancy's his flight simulator Hawks or whatever.
He had a flight simulator.
Or what?
They will
was
slap that name on anything.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very true.
Yeah. So anyway, but for the most part, we live in a pretty cool age of video game commercials. Just you could lose like a couple hours on YouTube just kind of watching recent video game commercials. They're pretty awesome. Let's see what else in the news. Hey, fourth quarter video game sales. Here are some predictions, and this leads in nicely to our Black Friday conversation. So the CEA, the Consumer Electronics Association, has pretty kind words to say for holiday spending. They project 18.24 million units of video game hardware will be shipped in the last 3 months of 2010.
Holy hardware, crap.
Yeah, hardware. So 18.24 million units of hardware, which is up from about 17.6 million last year. And then let's see here. TVs, so some kind of related stuff. TVs, they're expected 10.74 million units. Digital cameras, 14.3. And MP3 players, iPods, 12 basically iPods, 12.88 million. This is a bunch of stuff, I guess. So in other words, we buy a lot of crap around here. The primary driver behind this trend seems to be a higher proportion of overall spending on electronics. So, which makes sense. More people spend more money on electronics, basically because, I mean, you could probably argue it's just more of a necessity, if anything. Plus, I mean, it seems like it's a weird necessity. It seems like almost everybody says, well, I got to have like a flat screen TV. Well, I also got to have like a 50-inch flat screen TV. It's
plus a
one of those things where
masseuse
it's
to massage me while I watch,
Yeah,
TV.
absolutely. Let's see here. One more tidbit. Since 50 to 60% of video game industry sales come from the fourth quarter. So think about that. So over half of all video game sales come in the last 3 months of the year. The trend from 2009 to 2010 could still end up being positive. It's worth noticing that digital sales and spending on services like subscriptions have increased every year since they've become kind of commonplace. So I would probably say around the 360 is when subscriptions became really common. So basically everybody's going to spend all their pennies and dimes on video games and electronics. Interesting. Let's see here. Okay, let's move on to the topic. And the topic is Black Friday. I'll start off with a little tidbit. It's become really common, and I work in retail, so I know, believe me, I know.
Same here.
Yeah, same with Brian. That Black Friday ads. Well, first of all, we start talking about Black Friday in retail like in the summer.
Yeah, at least.
And nowadays, Black Friday ads leak like around the 1st of November. Really, they start like leaking. And then the big stores like Sears or Lowe's or maybe J.C. Penney. Those Black Friday ads leak around now, actually, just before about a couple weeks out of Thanksgiving.
I wouldn't know anything about any type of things like that.
No, no. We're skipping Black Friday.
Yeah.
That may or may not be true. At JCPenney. So one of the ads that leaked was Sears, and there's some interesting stuff in Sears if you're a video game aficionado. Two of the things, are limited edition red and green DSi bundles. So that one's for Rob.
Yeah.
Which include a Mario Party DS.
Just got
So,
awesome.
I hear Mario Party, and again I think Lemon Party, and then I cry inwardly.
Ironically, it's one of the mini games. It's
Nice.
like, push A, Luigi, no.
A PS3 bundle for $300. Okay, you know what? For all the price cuts they tout with PS3, they sure push bundles all the time, so it kind of defeats the purpose anyway. A $300 PS3 bundle that includes Uncharted 2, that's good, and a Blu-ray
Uncharted 2 is
of the
great.
Karate Kid.
Wait, the new Karate Kid or the classic
yeah.
Karate Kid?
No, not
Worst
classic.
thing ever.
Not G1.
Jackie Chan
Karate
needs a
Kid.
paycheck. The movie.
Nice. Hey, if you get the Blu-ray, you apparently get like 5 minutes of Jackie Chan fighting. I
I've
don't know if
seen
that-
it. It's pretty awesome.
At
Is it
least
pretty
you don't
awesome?
get. At least you don't get
It's
5 minutes of the next Karate Kid.
Apparently, with the Blu-ray, it's like secret Easter egg. Oh, the good Karate Kid.
Awesome.
If you zoom in on Jackie Chan's
apparently-
crotch at the right time.
Apparently, Sears and/or Sony have like some kind of deal with the devil and Jackie Chan, because here's another bundle. It's PSP 3000 for $130. It includes Little Big Planet and the new Karate Kid.
Ooh.
So
Yeah, what
Have
is
at you.
this new Karate Kid thing?
I don't
They
know.
are
Yeah.
sitting in warehouses with overstock.
I
They're
mean,
like, everyone loves Will Smith's kid.
Everyone loves Will Smith.
Bill
They'll love
White.
his kid.
I mean, it makes sense because Karate Kid is just new on, like, not extremely new on DVD, but it is just new enough. And
they're
it
surplus.
is also,
Just enough for Target to
and
clearance
Sony,
it.
Yeah.
Sony is also one of the studios that produced the movie.
Sony must have a buyback agreement with
That's
like all the retailers. So
Buyback agreement. Yeah, it's like a stock.
The scary thing is, didn't that movie did like well enough to like warrant a sequel?
oh god.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
#1 for 2 or 3 weeks. Something.
The
like
movie
that.
did well. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it wasn't like a failure.
No.
Yeah.
Just-
It's
yeah.
never the good movies.
Yeah.
in that story. Anyway, 360 has a bundle for $200. Not 300
on,
like
Kung
the
Fu
PS3.
Panda. Come on, Kung Fu
$200. No, not quite, but it does include Halo Reach. So
Really?
yeah, I
That's
mean
not bad.
that's interesting.
That's pretty good.
You
Yeah.
can't
4
beat that.
gigabyte
I-
Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Am I the only one to still think that a PS3 bundle for $300 is still a decent chunk of change?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
in
I
my
think
mind,
that's what, yes.
but Sony is programming to think of the PS3. When I say premium, I don't mean as in quality, but as in charge. So when the price of the PS3 drops down to $300, that to me is a deal, whether it really
Really?
is or not.
Mm,
It's like, oh wow, I could buy this really expensive. It's like I get a Groupon or something for like half off a meal at a restaurant that is overly priced. I go get the meal for about what it's worth retail, but it's still it's like, oh wow, what a deal. It's still
Well,
still
how
crap.
much- How much is a PS3 Slim anyway? $300,
$300,
right?
yeah.
yeah.
So it's like, well, I've got a shitty movie and a game.
Yeah,
Get
get a good game and a shitty movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
don't
good
know.
match. Okay, 2 quick ones. Go Peter,
Yeah.
go Peter.
Because my coworker and I were discussing this, and he was saying how he's like, oh, you should totally buy the PS3. I was like, if it goes down $50, I may consider
Yeah.
buying. But right now, $300 is still a decent amount of money that I'm not willing to part with.
You could
Yeah.
pay bills with that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's not a throwaway amount. I mean, it's $300, and it's like,
Yeah.
I can understand if there's something I cannot live without for this thing, but right now it's just, I'm sorry, God of War
Yeah.
isn't making me want to buy one.
Yeah, I mean, is it
yeah.
chemotherapy or is it like a PS3? I'm going to the
Yeah.
chemotherapy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like $300 is not an impulse buy. A
No.
Kindle at
Oh no.
$100,
no.
$139 is an impulse
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, even if it takes like a month to pull together like the $300, it's a month to reconsider
Yes.
the PS3. It's a crap. Second guess.
Oh crap!
So, I mean, this weekend I was, I said, well, do I want to get Predaking or do I want to get a Keurig? Well, the Keurig, and I don't regret it. So,
So that's the gift
Man,
that
somewhere
keeps on
Predaking,
giving.
it's sad.
yeah.
That's so sad.
So,
Hey, two
Bob.
quick things before we get to the topic. As Rob holds up Domo and Chuck E. Cheese for everybody. These last two are kind of so. Anyway, for the Sears Black Friday stuff, one of them is $10 off a Black Weed bundle. Okay, and then the last one is discounts on games. Discounts on games like Medal of Honor, Fable 3, Halo Reach, available for around $40. Those two suck. Some of those are okay, like the Xbox bundle. Which brings me to my my topic of discussion about Black Friday and video games. I will admit, just personally, I got my PS3 in a pseudo Black Friday deal. Because every year, what Walmart does is like on Saturdays, I guess like for like 4 or 5 Saturdays leading up to Black Friday, I think, they do a Black Friday deal, and one of them was the PS3 for like $300, and you got a $100 Walmart gift card.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah,
Not
I
bad.
do remember that. Yeah,
so it wasn't bad. I jumped on it.
No,
I don't
not bad at all.
I don't
that's
regret
a
it.
good
It's
deal.
pretty good deal. So that's like the only time I've ever done anything video game related, and probably really only Black Friday related ever. So I ask you guys, is there anything in the realm of video games that you would venture out to on Black Friday to get? I mean, is there not, like Peter was saying, like a $250 PS3? Is that a good enough deal for you to like fight through Black Friday or like sit there on Amazon and like so there's like nothing.
Last year I went to, I hate to say this, John, I went to Old Navy on Black Friday.
I remember that.
Because they were
I
giving
do remember.
they were giving away, of course, Lego Rock Band.
Mm-hmm.
And all you had to do is buy $20 in stuff. So what did I do? I went and paid $20. I got
Bought a pair of pants.
I got a pair of pants and a shirt I couldn't wear, so I could get Lego Rock Band for free. Yeah.
So that counts as something technically.
Yeah.
Do
remember-
you still have the pants?
It wasn't pants. It was like a warm shirt and a t-shirt that I couldn't wear.
So the opposite of pants.
Yes.
Actually.
I remember in 05 traveling Targets on Black Friday because I was too lazy to get up on time, but traveling to get Lego Star Wars for like $10.
Why?
Because I really wanted it, and I was like, $10, that's good. And while I'm at there, I buy toys.
Nice. So I guess with both of you, that's interesting. It was games. So it was like software. There's not like a hardware deal that's like worth fighting those crowds.
The-
That's,
the
this year,
only-
no.
Yeah.
The only thing I've ever done Black Friday for was to get a $100 GameCube however many years ago.
That's not bad.
I have two game related stories. How's that to brighten up the mood a little bit?
Bring it,
Yes.
son.
All right. So when
Yes.
the Wii first came out, you know how pretty much it was a mad dash anywhere and whichever way you could to get a Wii, right?
Yeah.
So that Black Friday, I had all intents and purposes of waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning. There are two next, within a quarter mile of each other. There are two GameStops. There was a GameStop and an EB Games before they closed that EB Games down. And I was totally ready for it. And there was a Toys R Us even like another less than a quarter mile way down. So I was gunning for it. I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna wake up at 6. I'm gonna get in line. It's gonna be great. Didn't work out. I passed out. I fell asleep. I never woke up. I didn't wake up until like
Whoa.
11 o'clock, right? So I didn't wake up until 11, and I was like, ah, damn it. How's this gonna work out now? So, and I was like, it's too late now. So I had some lunch around 12:30 or so. I started calling. I call EB Games. I was like, do you have any Nintendo Wiis left? No, like they laughed in my face. They're like, no. I called the GameStop. I was like, please tell me you have Wiis left. And they're like, no. Are you out of your mind? And I was like, okay. So finally, in my last-ditch effort, I called Toys R Us and I said, "Hey, do you have any Nintendo Wii's left?" And they're like, "Yeah, come on down."
Unbelievable.
I was like, "Wait, what? You do?" And they're like, "Yeah, absolutely." Just
When
come on
was
down."
this?
I
Was
like,
this last week?
No.
Yeah. No kidding.
I kid you not. It was insane. On 1 o'clock after Black Friday ended, I called Toys R Us and they said, "Yes, we have a Nintendo Wii."
They
Come
must
on."
have been staggering the release of that so that people would come through the whole day to get that.
So what they did was, I found out, is they had 6 of them. They didn't tell a soul. You had to ask, and then they told you. So they had
Weird.
no displays. They had empty boxes of displays and stuff. But people just, I guess, they assumed that you couldn't get a Nintendo Wii. So I went up to the guy at the store and I said, "Hey, I called like 10 minutes ago and I heard you had a Nintendo Wii." And they're like, "Yeah, let me go back and get one for you." I was like, "Okay." So as he went back there, I made sure, as soon as he started walking away from me, I gunned it as fast as I could over to the rack. I snagged like 2 nunchucks, 1 Wii remote, Twilight Princess, ran back over there. I was like, "I'm ready. Let's go."
Awesome.
It was the best Black Friday of my life.
That's like the worst like strategy in sales that I've ever heard.
Yeah, it didn't make
The
any
secret.
sense.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
So
we're gonna
I
keep
was
this like a secret.
I walked away like afraid that somebody was just gonna like rob me. I was just
So
deathly
Rob
afraid.
knows about that.
Yeah.
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 You were
So-
right to fear.
You are.
So I won there. And then last season they had I don't know why I did this. Wii Sports Resort. GameStop was having a Wii Sports Resort sale. They said that if you get a Wii Sports Resort, which already comes with the Wii Motion Plus, we will give you a free Wii Motion Plus.
Wow.
So I was like, all right, I'll go. Woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning, walked over to the GameStop, which is like a block away. And then I waited in line. Everybody went in. I grabbed these 2 things. I was like, okay, I'm done. I went home, fell asleep. That was it.
Well, that's
GameStop,
not nearly as good of a story.
Yeah.
last generation GameStop had the, for like all the systems, if you got a greatest hits title, it was buy one, get one free on Black Friday. I used to just go like rack up on games. It's like, man, I don't even want to play this one.
Yeah. It was just crazy because there were people all over there. Like somebody bought like, what is it? What's that damn thing called? Band Hero? And it was not on sale or anything. They were just like, they decided to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning just to buy the game that you could buy any other day.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I was
like,
like,
people go
pickle
nuts
gun.
on Black Friday.
That's me. The only
They have to come home with something.
the first time
Yeah.
I did Black Friday, I literally went and bought stuff that I could have bought any other day at the exact same price.
Yeah. And that's what
You
they're
remember
betting
what
on,
you
right?
Yeah, I bought a Create a Zen, the micro photo. I bought I bought an an Antec hard drive enclosure for a 2.5-inch IDE hard drive, and I bought a lambskin jacket at Sam's Club.
Yeah.
And
That
one of
is
these
what
things
they're
is
betting.
not like the other.
You fail at Black Friday.
I still wear that jacket to this day, sir. It's still warm and comfy.
Very good.
I don't care. You still fail at Black Friday.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. Yeah, especially Peter. I remember stores like putting up the sign, "We have Wii's," like a
Yeah.
year after it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
still doing that.
And
And,
the
then the
fact
Wii
that-
Fit came out.
There
Yeah.
are
Same.
drugstores here that have signs that say that we have silly bands. Everybody has silly bands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
silly bands aren't hard to find, but they will still advertise them.
Yeah.
I was down the shore earlier this year, and then they were like, "We have green lasers."
Oh, I wanted to pick up a green laser at Radio Shack a couple days ago.
I was like, I don't get it. What the hell? Every store down the shore had green lasers. I was like, what's so good about it? Does it cut people? Other than like, I mean, what's the difference between green and red? Like, I mean,
I'll
There's
tell you.
there's a big difference. Yeah.
I'll tell you the big difference, okay? Because it has been like a good 12 years of seeing that stupid red dot on every single damn movie I go to. That finally.
we just
is
gotta get some
different
love,
color.
man.
Plus the green laser can blind you.
Yeah. That's what I
That's
heard.
always
That
good.
like, yeah, that's what I heard about green is processed
watch-
by the human eye.
And if you go brighter, if you go like a deeper color like blue, a blue laser can blind you just by reflecting off a wall.
I was just gonna say, watch out for the blue lasers.
Yeah.
It's just like LED progression.
Yeah.
The
So
closer blue you get, the brighter the hell it is.
Yeah, so if you're just like bouncing it against a wall and you can see it, you might be blind a couple of days later. It's not even. It's not even instant. You could just wake up blind like 3 days later. It's awesome.
Oh my god.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is.
go along.
Man, there's so many 12-year-olds listening to this podcast right now.
I know, that is
gonna-
going to be the hot Christmas toy.
Thankfully, a Blue Laser is still like $200 or $300.
Maybe
You
in
know-
this country, buddy.
Yeah, true.
Going along
Yeah.
with what Peter was saying about people getting robbed for Wii's, and of course my infamous Xbox story, I recall like a couple of months after Wii had
No
come
black
out, going to
lasers,
Best
but
Buy.
black lights.
Woohoo! Party time.
Sorry.
I recall going to a Best Buy to get a game for my Wii, and the salesperson had a Wii because they had a couple in stock at this time. He had the security thing tied around it, was walking around with a security guard walking to people. Would you like to buy a Wii?
Jesus.
And the security guard was like, yeah, because people, it's Atlanta. They will snatch and grab. He was walking around, and he was like, had the security thing on, and a security guard, and he's
Did he
like,
have a handcuff
so I'm like
to it?
no, it wasn't that bar, but there was an armed guy walking around behind him. He was like, would anyone like to buy a Wii? We have them in stock.
Wow.
They had like maybe 2.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised
Yeah.
that security guard didn't have his gun out, like, ready.
He's just like,
Nice. Just
man.
pointed at everybody just
yeah,
in case.
step back. Everybody
Yeah.
The
step
guard's
back.
like, At 04, I would have said y'all was stupid for this junk. But last year, someone robbed someone for an Xbox, so I'm keeping my eyes this week.
Interesting. All right, good talk, guys. Especially about how to blind somebody with a laser pointer.
Don't do
That
that.
was-
It's a
that's hard.
power
Yeah.
laser.
Yeah, you
What's
don't get
your,
that on other podcasts, people. What else you don't get is a chance to win Super Street Fighter 4. So to close the show once more, follow us on Twitter, follow us on TF Radio at TF Radio on Twitter, and for this show and next show, when we tweet that the new Soundwave has been posted, retweet that tweet, and you will be entered in our drawing for Super Street Fighter 4 for the 360. It is awesome.
Very awesome.
It is a very awesome game. It's a game of the year, if you ask a lot of people, really. And you will have a shot to win it. Makes a great gift for yourself or your family or a complete stranger. You can do whatever you want with it because it'll be yours.
Mr.
So,
Tots that thing.
yes. So, for the gang, for Brian, for XV, for Peter, AKK Bweebum, for Rob, for myself, I am John DeLuna. That is New Soundwave. We will see you next week.
This has been New Soundwave with your hosts John DeLuna, Brian Kilby, XV, Lady Rick, Bweebum, with Rob Springer. Visit us at tfradio.net for show notes and to subscribe to the podcast. Follow us on Twitter at tfradio for news and updates. Check out all our videos at tfvideo.net. Like the podcast? Tell your friends. New Soundwave is a radio-free Cybertron production. Copyright 2010 Radio Free Cybertron.